Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. Sorry, I messed that up. Public Opinion. I'm so excited to be here this afternoon. We have a new letter from Sarah Boone. That's right, Sarah Boone has written one more time from jail. This, I believe it's letter number 9, if we're counting correctly. Letter number 9 from jail. She's written. A quick shout out. Sound effects are live today. Let's see, we've got I need to turn this on over here. There we go. Live, click there. Is it working? It's on there, and now it's on there. Okay, here we go. We have KR first in chat today. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Wonderful to have you here. We're going to get right into this letter from Sarah Boone. She has written the judge many times. She's written their lawyer many times. It just gets better and better. So I'm going to bring that to you here. Let's see. We're going to have this pulled up on. Oops, this one over here. Camera 7. So excited. This just barely dropped. This just barely got uploaded by the court. It was hand-delivered. This letter was hand-delivered to the judge by Sarah Boone at her last hearing on the 21st. It's now the 24th. She also wanted to know why he didn't upload the letter she mailed him previously. He said, I don't know why, but now we have the letter. It's been hand-delivered. So here we go. Let's see if I can pull this up. Cut to that right here. Boom. Hand-delivered. So I'm going to read this here with you. I apologize if I'm looking down. It's easier for me to watch this on the iPad than on the big screen here. Let's see. Flutter One, are you live streaming any of the current trials live? Yes, the one we are live streaming starts tomorrow. And it's the boyfriend murders high school girlfriend's current husbands so they can get back together. It's going to be a good one. Okay, so here we go. We're going to read this together. If necessary, we will play the appropriate music to accompany this letter. But just there's a lot on here, so let's start. It says, hand-delivered 7/21/23. Revisions made 7/20. Original was not uploaded to date. The second attempt to make public, like everything else in my case, including all my other letters, freedom of speech, mine. This is dated June 29th, 2023. With her case number, and then all for your review, critique, judgment, understanding. Try it. So she's invited us to review, critique, judge, and understand her letter. I think we can do at least 3 of those. At least 3 is what I can promise. Let's see. Clarify. To make or to become or make clear. Oh, all right. So we're starting with an English lesson. Clarify, clearness, per the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. So we have 2 different definitions of clarify, or clarity. Sorry, I have to squint. One was clarify, one was clarity. Clarity is clearness, per the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. So thank you, Sarah, for that. I feel smarter already. Where do I even start? Through the officer/inmate grapevine and a letter I received from my fan mail, and usually the only way I find out anything out regarding my case, since there is no communication from my current lawyer. Now 10 weeks more of complete silence. And yes, my 6th attorney, which I will clarify momentarily. Clarify is underlined, so we can reference that she means to become or make clear. Later, she'll do that. I was made aware of my last letter. My last letter was featured on the news locally, realistically meaning globally. So local news equals global news. Apparently, my very legitimate, lawful, real questions and concerns I asked, and am still caused a stir on top of already engulfing whirlpool. My case has become. She's a little sloppy in her writing. This is one of the worst handwriting we've seen from her. I mean, it's still very good, but let's see. My caused a stir on top of the already engulfing whirlpool my case has become, and made out to look like, which it is not. Hence my previous questions from said letter. I am trying to protect and maintain my truth, which no one knows, since no one else will. However, I can, and keep some of the illicit ugliness at bay. Mismanagement at its finest in everything. Ivan says, I'll start over. I'm cutting out. What's cutting out? Was there a cutting out a lot? Skip or buffer? Let's see. What's happening here? Why is there a buffer? Testing 1, 2. On and off. You're cutting out. It'll stop the skipping. Refresh if it's glitching. Okay, it's looking solid on my side. We want to bring this to you in all its juicy goodness. So let's see. Let me shut a few things down. I hear the buffer sound. Close this down. Close that down. Okay. Is this any better? Can we get a check to see if this is any better? It's fine now. So far, this is better on audio. You're good now. Background music, better now. Missed a lot of buffer. Okay, we're going to start over. We're excited. Slow down a little. We're going to start over. There we're going to go. Start the letter over, please. We will do that. So we're going to begin. So Sarah Boone has sent another letter to the judge. This letter is hand-delivered, as you see on the top right, left-hand corner, hand-delivered to the judge on 7/21. She made some corrections from the original letter, which for some reason was not posted, and now so she's turned this one in to the judge, which has been posted. It just went live today, so this is brand new. She begins by inviting all of us to review, critique, pass judgment, and attempt understanding. And I can do 3 of those very well. That's it. KR says I don't hear anything. Testing 1, 2, 3. How do I sound? Good over here. Okay, excellent. So she also gives us 2 vocabulary words for the day. One is clarify, one is clarity. So to clarify means to become or make clear, and clarity means clearness per the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. So where do I even start? Through the officer-inmate grapevine and a letter I received from my fan mail, and usually the only way I found out anything regarding my case, since there's no communication from my current attorney, now 10 weeks more of complete silence, and yes, my 6th attorney, which I will clarify momentarily, I was made aware my last letter was featured on the news locally, realistically meaning globally. Apparently, my very legitimate, lawful, real questions and concerns I asked, and am still, caused a stir on top of the already engulfing whirlpool my case has become and made out to look like, which it is not. Hence, my previous questions from said letter. I'm trying to protect and maintain my truth, which no one knows, since no one else will. However, I can, and keep some of the illicit ugliness at bay. Mismanagement at its finest in everything. I think that's like a slogan. Mismanagement at its finest in everything. Why wasn't I included at all? Why wasn't I asked prior to being highlighted so I would know what was said or asked or criticized so I could rightfully defend myself? What was so newsworthy? By not including me is unfair and adds to the assumptions of what everyone wants me to end up being and thinks I am. This is wrong, and also adds to the prejudgment of my case. All of the idiotic theories, empty opinions, false accusations is all the ignorant world knows from all the pertinent private case details available to everyone except me, the defendant in my case. How can I defend myself? I can't, so everything gets meaner, more evil, corrupt, and out of control. I believe this is what a trial is for, right? The world is supposed to learn everything about my case during the trial, right? This is not justice or a system, right? All fairness has been completely removed, right? And that's a lot of rights in there. So were any of my questions answered? Was anything at all clarified regarding evaluations, amendment violations, case sensitivity, protection, suppression? What's the video hit count reached now? My last letter was over 3 million. Correct? How does that shareable income make for everyone? How much does that shareable income make for everyone? Did anyone locate my attorney or discovery? Everything everyone everywhere in the world knows, has seen or listened to, all of my discovery again except me. In the meantime, here's a corner piece to my convoluted puzzle, all of the wondering when it will finally be put together to see what the real picture is, and also a huge disentanglement of only an inkling of some of the
subject matter jurisdiction,
the misunderstandings and ignorance swirling about in my case. Before you try wearing my slides, know where they've been. Before you try wearing my slides, know where they've been. That's like a modern way of saying, walk a mile in someone else's shoes. My attorney, 6. When, and as I've said numerous times in my previous letters, why not by choice, I'm on the 6th attorney. Here is some clarity so everyone can finally have some understanding why my slides are so worn, but most definitely walkable still. Apparently she's a big fan of slides. Attorney number 1. private, February 2020 through May 22. This attorney sold me the world, promised exoneration, and supplied an overabundance of other continuous false hopes so I would accept his offer to become my attorney. He had no idea what my case was even going to be or what was really about, and he deserted me, his client, naive and new. Oh, hang on. 2 weeks before my first scheduled trial due to irreconcilable differences, meaning it was not persuaded enough to agree with what he wanted me to say or do, and was not what happened. There was no trust. There was no strategy, and if there was, I was never included on it, or an innumerable amount of other case-defining details and questions left unanswered before going to trial. I felt he was sabotaging my case and setting me up for failure due to his micro amount of experience, which I found out after the fact and was not disclosed prior to my acceptance of his representation. In my macro-sized case, nevertheless, when we did meet to discuss my case and I asked for updates about any progress, he would start talking to me about his client in Colombia, his clown of a sister-in-law, his nephew going to water parks, trips he's taken, his regrets, where he bought his gold sneakers, and many other unrelated, unimportant, time-consuming stories. All the while, I'm trying to figure out what's going on and why is he not answering any of my questions. Nothing was ever completed or accomplished or communicated, building 1,000 fires, waiting and needing to be put out before making another to be left ablaze. I was always ignored in the dark conjuring of the dreadful perpetual question mark looming still over my head. So much, I prepared an 8-page packet for Judge Wayne C. Wooten to provide during both court dates, defending myself against my attorney's untrue, unresearched withdrawals. No one asked me nor permitted me to speak my truth. To help him and the court understand my real concerns along with the carryover since day one, I was trying to avoid going through any of this again going forward. It had already been 2.3 years. I wanted the judge to include me and know that I have a side also in everything. Plus, I knew Judge Wooten would be appointing my next attorney in hopes he would listen and appoint a more suitable, experienced one accordingly, to save time for everyone to progressively move forward. He must have been throwing darts at a dartboard, blindfolded. This attorney, number one, was/is untrustworthy, unreliable, unprofessional, with poor leadership skills and extremely unorganized. He was unable to perform ethically and as an adult, ignoring his client, misleading and deceiving. He didn't even respect me enough to speak with before his withdrawal to try and remedy or figure anything out to stop. I was totally blindsided because of the magnitude of his ineptness and dereliction of duty as a result, withdrawing from my case at the 11th hour after taking over 2 years with nothing I knew of but disappointment. I could have reported him to the Florida bar for legal malpractice. Exhaustion 1. I'm also still waiting on him to release all of my case files and documents obtained and accrued during his representation, including well over 100 pages of my handwritten notes and information, which is irreplaceable. He is still not helping. Him no longer being my attorney was not my choice. Attorney number 2, number 3, and number 4. Public defenders appointed by the judge, May 2022 through June 2022. Judge Wayne C. Wooten and the court repeatedly appointed me public defenders, 3, without any research or care, and after I continuously explained to each I tried to the judge/court they could not represent me due to their representations of the decedent. We've done our homework, I was told. I received 3 withdrawals, none by choice, definitely not systematic. Attorney number 5, conflict, appointed by the judge, June 2022 through July 2022. Upon our first and only meeting, this attorney expressed his mass confusion in why he was appointed by Judge Wooten, as he was leaving for a teaching job out of Orlando within the week. I learned more from this attorney in one meeting regarding my case than all prior combined. It was extremely disheartening. He could not continue representation and set the bar going forward, especially regarding honesty and respect. I received only 2 letters from him, introduction and withdrawal. He also did not know where any of my discovery was or notes, now 5 attorneys later, not by choice. Attorney number 6, conflict, appointed by the judge, July 2022 to present. 1 year mark, 7/11/23. 12 months, 365 days, that's 52 weeks, summarized. Here we go. 8 total months, 240 days and counting, were/are absolutely no communication in any form, completely inactive. Total amount of hours as a court-appointed attorney, over 8,760. Total times met with a client, me, 6. Total hours spent with client, 7. Total phone numbers given to a client from attorney, 2. Numbers that work, 0. Total time speaking to client via phone, 0. Total number of 15-minute video visits with client, 4. Total number of letters sent to attorney trying to communicate, 8. Total number of letters sent to judge trying to communicate my unsuccessful communication with my attorney in hopes he will communicate with him to communicate with me, 7. Letters to other parties to communicate, 3. Total times in court, 3. I was an attempted withdrawal, 2. Carryover and over. The last time I spoke with / saw my attorney was May 18th, 2023. Where is the progress after one entire complete year? Unknown. Everyone else, please look on the Orange County, Florida Clerk of Court's website and see for yourself. Am I looking at it wrong? Reading the contents incorrectly? The mass majority of work seems to be from my correspondence. If not my letters, there's minutes, some live, to view from my non-progressive, lackluster court dates stating the same information and same continuances, and of course, none of my comments, concerns, or questions from any. I don't just sit there, edited like my case. I feel it important to communicate to everyone so you understand the undertaking it is for an inmate to attend court and why it is so important to me to have progress to report to make the day count. We are woken up at 3 a.m., taken to a holding cell and wait 4 hours, then taken to the courthouse and put in another holding cell for however many hours until court time for only a 5 to 10 minute opportunity in front of the judge to say anything, if at all. Then taken to another holding cell for however long, transported back to another holding cell, wait for however long, then taken to another holding cell, then back to our dorm. Most court dates are court days, spending between 8 to 14 hours for little to no time to speak. It is important to me / us. I/we matter. Hence my letters. What will be said for this one, I wonder? Like Lois looking to the skies for Superman, I'm hoping / praying for an attorney to step up and truly represent me with honesty, intensity, understanding, respect, and perspective. When they introduce themselves, they can me also, the real me, properly, not the Frankenstein monster I'm being so wrongfully and incorrectly pieced together as from all the propagandized, lucrative defamation and attempted destruction of my character and still intact integrity. Clearly, also everyone can see all of the aforementioned information regarding my attorneys was not ever a strategy of mine, nor will it be. Is it a strategy of the judge in court? Judge Wooten, will I be included, please, in my upcoming status hearing prior to my PTC, which is also the 1 year mark of attorney number 6 on 7/11/23? Will I be permitted, I was not, attendance from you, like all the news channels and professional YouTubers? I hope I finally see my attorney, whom I'm sure will tell me, as you so graciously explained to me in my last PTC I was made a part of, consuming my minute minutes of your invaluable time, that you and he have other clients. I am a client and have been for over a year with this attorney and paid tax dollars to utilize all my available resources, including and not limited to a state government attorney appointed by the court. And you will always have clients. You never know when you may become one yourself. Please do not discredit my truth. I am who, not what. Respectful and diligent, Sarah Boone. Where do we start? I think she wants to be on the show. That's all I can say. I think she wants to be here. She wants to hear the letter. She wants to speak. And can I call her? Can we do a collect call? If I pick up the charges, can I call her and ask her questions and interview her? Is that? I mean, I would tell her it's the worst thing she could possibly do for her case. But she doesn't seem worried about that. This is just bizarre. This is crazy. Do they have internet access to watch this? Yes, they do. They can. I honestly, we've had some fun with this trial. I would be the first to admit this. It does seem bizarre. It seems a little strange. But if given the opportunity to interview her, I'd interview her as fairly as I could, and ask for her side of the story and have her tell it. I don't think she would. Don't think she would. It might be worth. You could put $20 on her books, and she can call you. Let's see. I bet 5 memberships that she's seen one of RA's videos. There's a good chance. They have internet. She's able to watch this. She knows she's able to see the YouTubers who post stuff. She'd want to be paid. I'd put money on her books. I realize, you know what? I would be willing to pay her overdue court fees. She owes $50 on her court case that shows on the docket that haven't been paid in years. I'd be willing to pay that. I'd be willing to put that on her card so she could make some calls. Arrange it through the Orange County Jail. Here's the thing. I do live in the U.S. Yes, I do. Is she using these letters to the judge as her communication to the public? Wouldn't this be polluting the jury pool? Yes, I believe she is. Here's what I'll say. There is zero chance she does not testify in court. Zero. She wants to speak. She wants her story told, and she wants to be the one that tells it. Why not let her do it here? There's no law against me bringing her on. I will say that I would tell her up front that I believe that her doing this could be detrimental to her case. I don't know. I'll have to talk to some legal minds and see. You know, I don't want to harm her trial. I don't want her to not have a fair trial, because I believe everyone is entitled to that. I don't believe that our little channel is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back as far as polluting the juror pool. I don't think we have that sort of reach and coverage in Orange County, Florida, that we can, you know, reach all those potential jurors and somehow sway them one way or another. It would not be a mistrial. That's not a mistrial. All she can do is say no. Is Matthew here? I don't know. I'm not a witness. It would be hearsay. Everything I heard is just something she said. There's nothing that they would call me to testify in. Stephen Blevins, welcome. Love you all. Thank you so much for being here. She's very standoffish. I'd be shocked. We know her lawyer won't be objecting to an interview. He won't be doing much of anything. Burnt Toast, thank you for the gifted membership as well. I think you would open yourself up to subpoena for sure if you do that before trial. Before trial, they can do whatever. There's no gag order in place on this trial. Everything is public. Florida's a sunshine state. They can, you know, everything's wide out in the open. We have all these letters. Basically, we'd be going over the same things that have been covered in the letters already, just allowing her to elaborate a little bit. Lost Souls, hopefully you get better quickly. Thank you so much. 5 months. That's awesome. Yeah, speaking during your show, she would not face any objections, can speak freely. I would do exactly what we did with Solomon Anderson. Allow them to speak what they want. And it's completely different. I'm not trying to compare her to Solomon or Zachariah Anderson at all. But the way I handle an interview is respectful. And I would let her talk. It wouldn't be a trap. I'm not setting a trap for people. I don't do that. See, Amber's calling in. She might have some legal advice here. Hey, Amber, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Hi, everybody in chat. I'm going to make this really quick. So I wanted to elaborate real quick on my comment. Mm-hmm. So if for some reason she discloses something in an interview prior to trial, because of course, you know, everybody is going to be watching it, and the state is going to be really listening quite closely to whatever it is that she says. So if she happens to say anything that they want to try and use in court, they would have to bring you in to substantiate the evidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have to be able to authenticate the phone call the technical details as to who called, what the connection was, what the number was that was connected to it, and the date and things like that.
Right.
As far as me individually having evidence about the trial, nothing she told me, I would not be the source of evidence for that trial, I don't believe, because that would be...
Right, because they would essentially just play the video or snippets of the video if this were to happen. So I really think that you would open yourself up to having a trip to Florida for a day at least.
maybe now I can get my press pass if the judge summons me there. is that how he? Because he's being a little. I mean, honestly, he's being a pain in the butt about that. They only want to give press passes to people who have editors that edit the edit documents, the edit stories for regular postings. So basically, you have to have a newspaper or some sort of website that is edited by somebody other than the author.
Right.
And you have to prove that you're following the case for 6 months. Yeah, I'll use all you guys.
I mean, I think we have a good argument there.
I think first of all, I would talk to a couple legal minds. There are a couple people on here I respect. Matthew Harris is probably the first one. He might give me some solid information. I don't want to be the one that causes a problem for a case, but it sounds like she's not happy with the case at all. Like that. And
I don't think I think an interview with her would be freaking amazing. But I worry that you open yourself up to at least a subpoena to substantiate whatever clips they want to use from the live video, because I would almost guarantee she would say something that the state wants to use against her.
There probably would be additional details provided that aren't anywhere else.
Right.
Yeah, and
that's the part I get concerned about. Not that she would incriminate herself necessarily, or you'd get in trouble or of any kind. It would just be she's going to open her mouth and say things that the state's going to want to use, and they're going to have to pull you in to substantiate the video.
Well, what if they could do it the other way? Because like Stephanie Jacobs said, it goes through the jail. So she says, huge mistake, call would be recorded by the jail. It could be used against her in court. So they have their end that they could substantiate.
Right, but like you said, they would have to substantiate the connection. So validating and verifying how the connection is made for her to be either voice or video broadcasted. Yeah. So especially video broadcasted, how is that?
It wouldn't be video. We'd have no video of her. It would be audio only. So
So audio only. How do they substantiate that?
They have their record of her logging in, using her PIN on the phone, and the recording, and anything that's not a communication between her and her lawyer is fair game, and the state gets a copy of. So I don't think they would need the other end, me. They might subpoena me. Guess what? They don't have jurisdiction here. I'd be like, okay, look, Judge, if you want me to show up to testify, I need a press pass.
Can you do it? Can you do it remotely? Can you just zoom in?
Yeah. And the biggest concern would be if they do subpoena me for that, the exclusionary rule, where I can't see other people's testimony. It might prevent me from following the case.
Well, that's where you put the caveat in there that you're willing to testify to the interview as long as you can do it remotely via Zoom, and you can still broadcast.
And I'm not excluded. Yeah.
Right, because you most certainly want to broadcast your own testimony.
Yeah, of all the things, that would be something I think I should be able to air. It's my own testimony. Oh man,
I'm just getting flashbacks of our court debut in Wisconsin.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy. I would be heard on the other end. I'm fine with that.
Broadcasted in the court and me calling the attorney.
Ashley, I'm fine with my voice being played in court. I'm used to that now. No, it's I believe that I would be respectful. There's nothing I would say on a phone call with an inmate, with a defendant, that I would regret saying. I think I could handle the interview fine that way, but maybe I'll write to her and see what she says. Just say, look,
I mean, I've got.
I'm one of the people you hate because I'm one of the YouTubers that follows your case. But at the same time, I recognize that there's something you'd like to talk about and get a message out there that that isn't getting out. But knowing that it could be bad for your case to do it, if you're interested. I don't know. I don't think man. I've got to shut up and talk to my lawyer. Matthew, Nicole, where are you at?
We all plead the fifth at the moment.
Maybe we wait till after the case is over, and then say, Sarah, we'd like to talk.
Oh, I absolutely think that's fair game.
That would be
100%.
Because I would hate to, I would hate to be the reason why somebody thinks they didn't get a fair trial.
Right.
That is something that I believe it's almost like a sacred, part of our law is that you have a fair trial,
right.
that you have the right to be heard and have your day in court where the facts can be laid out and the truth can be laid out and then the jury can come to a conclusion based on those facts. I would hate to be any reason. Yeah, I don't know. Anything she mails out is kept a copy of. I know the judge. Let's see. I'm getting updates on the burner phone with how-tos. Thank you very much. Let's see. Policies, Florida Department of Corrections.
Oh, I've got all of the information to send her.
How to schedule inmate interviews.
Of how to get a hold of her for contact. So I've got all of that handy because I've been incredibly curious. I've also got a letter out to her as well that I'm waiting to see if I get a response on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we might try to line something up right now, so that when the time comes, we might be able to have a better access point instead of trying to build the bridge after it's over.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, it's interesting. I mean, assuming she's convicted, that's a big assumption. But assuming she's convicted, then there's
even
appeals
if it's
issues.
not, if acquitted, that would be even more fantastic.
Yeah. I have a hard time seeing that outcome.
I don't see that either.
If I was subpoenaed, I couldn't cover the trial live. Well, if I was subpoenaed, I'd be subpoenaed from Florida, and it's not like an arrest warrant where they can have another state pick you up and transfer you over. I would have to agree to show up because I'm out of state. They can't come and get me. If I'm in Florida, they could come and get me. I have to be there. I've never been in Florida. They have no hold on me, so I may be able to negotiate and say I will on this condition. And maybe they would allow that because of the content, because what they would want from me if I was subpoenaed is so little and has so little value or bearing on the case itself. I'm substantiating the time of a phone call that they already have from the jail.
That's why I'm saying, if anything, I would say they would be more inclined to allow a remote appearance.
Yeah.
So
you're like,
I don't know.
Yeah, Judge, I have to appear remotely because I'm live streaming the case. I'm live streaming the trial.
Right.
and there's other witnesses before me that I have to talk about. Exclusionary rule, what? Yeah. Oh man. How to piss off a judge in 3 easy steps. Yeah.
No kidding.
Anyway, it would be fun.
I'm definitely on the call longer than I anticipated, and I've got to get back to work. But I figured I'd call in and kind of talk with you about that.
Thank you. I've got the. Let's see who sent me this. This was Rebecca. Who sent me this? Looking here. I got the link to the Florida. I know the account you sent it on is your work account. That's why I'm trying to find it. Oh, Dilly Pickles. Okay. There we go. Dilly Pickles sent this and gave me the information. Florida Department of Corrections actually has policies on how to do this, on how to interview somebody on the channel. Mm-hmm. Could someone else interview her on the channel while you're streaming? I could. We could do a third party. The problem is we'd have to do like when you start doing interstate recording of phone calls, you want to make sure all the laws are followed very carefully because, North Carolina may be a one-party state. I'm not sure what Florida is. So we'd have to let her know, is it okay if we record this? Anything. Anyway, there's lots to go in there. Send her a letter. Okay, we'll do. All right. Thank you very much, Amber. Yeah.
I'll keep you posted if I get a response, and of course I'll publish it and let you read the live stream.
Yeah, that would be great.
Of course, with the letter that I sent her, because of course I have to have a copy so I know what she's responding to.
Yep. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I know several addicts out there have sent her some mail. We'll have to do that as well. So good.
All right.
I think Matthew bailed on this one. He saw where I was going to this conversation. He's like, I'm out.
He said, my name's Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Amber. Have a great day. Appreciate your help.
All right.
We'll
not a problem. Bye.
Bye. All right. So letter is done. We have read the letter. 7 pages of juicy goodness. Wonderful. More counts, more accusations of possible nefarious purposes of the court and the judge. We have more direct addressing of YouTubers, of news media. She's actually more blatantly than ever before. She's saying she wants her story to be out there. She wants this information to be out there. This letter, I'd sum it up as saying this was her version of what happened with all those lawyers. And I honestly, I agree with her version of the events. There's a little bit of more detail in there that we've seen than she recounted. Sort of lumped 3 lawyers together and saying, they all represented the decedent, so they can't represent. Well, it's not quite that clear. One of them represented somebody who was going to be called as a witness in this case and things like that. It would piss off her lawyer if she talks to you. Carol, you are not wrong, and sorry for you Brits over there using some English slang there. Don't touch us with a 10-foot pole. I honestly, everything we've seen from her, look at her interviews with the police, okay? She has a story she wants to tell, and I want to ask her some questions. Okay, see ya. Sorry, he's leaving. I will get Matthew Harris to advise. I want to hear what she has to say. Maybe she's being misrepresented. Anything she has to say that she has not already told us would be additional information, and that would possibly be detrimental to her case because she doesn't know when to be quiet. She needs to get a lawyer and be quiet. That's what she should have done in the very beginning. That's just even if she's going to plead guilty or something, just be quiet. Just let the lawyer do the work. I'd love to see her other letters from her other than legal. What do I have? Yeah, I'm going to change this. I think this is letter number 8. She said it was letter number 8, and she has a count. I said 9, but I think we were counting one of her letters as a repeat, where she sent one and it was scanned only on one side, so she sent another one a couple weeks later to correct it. I'm not sure, but we'll check that. Peter's going to be there, Amber. Peter's his followers have requested, and he's going to be there in the courtroom, at least for one of the days for Sarah Boone. Proof that compulsion is not brilliance. Yeah, I would. Eminem's asking her too. I think it was number 9 because it didn't get uploaded. She said she's corrected this one and resent it, and it looks like she rewrote it rather hastily, and she inserted some corrections. It would be pretty neat. At the same time, it would be. Oh man, I don't know. Here's what I don't want. I've told you already. I want her to have a fair trial. And her talking to me before the trial would be possibly bad for her because she might say something that would make it worse, that might prove one element of a charge that she's faced with. It could prove the intent in a different way that they didn't have before. I'd be dragged into court. What's worse? You know, I don't know. Part of me just wants to, I'd like to see justice for George as well. He's the victim here at the same time. But there's no question Sarah Boone's not saying that she didn't put him in the suitcase, that it wasn't. But let's see. Amber says it's definitely number 9. I'm getting ready to send to you the email. My only thing is she says it's number 8 and she has all these copies. Let me do this. Let me talk to her and say, I'll send her a letter. If y'all write her, send her pictures of unicorns. Promise you'll get a response. The collector, I will. I'll have to do that. What is it with unicorns? Is that just her thing? Just don't ask what her intent was. I don't know how you can dance around that subject. That's basically the whole purpose of this trial. It might be a big headache. I think, imagine after the trial, it would probably be a little bit easier. No, she's only going up for second degree murder. It doesn't mean life necessarily, but it possibly could. All right. Well, we've covered her letter for today. As you guys saw, this was the letter that was hand delivered to the judge. We've reviewed it, we've critiqued it, we've passed judgment. It's given us a little bit of understanding. I'm not sure why we needed the clarify and clarity definitions. That seems to be not as necessary. But basically, it's been a long time. That's what if you can boil down this letter to just a few words. She's been in jail for a long time. She's been in custody for a long time. She's had a lot of lawyers, and very little work has been done to her knowledge. She's said that her big accusation is her first lawyer that did a lot of work on the case, or had a lot of her files, her writings, her handwritten notes, has not turned them over. And as soon as he's off the case, he should turn all those over to the next lawyer. And they went through so many lawyers so quickly that they're basically saying, we don't know where they are. There may be documents somewhere, but I don't know where. Let's see. Judge can't read her letters. Judge just stamps them. The judge just stamps them and files them. That's it. She wants responses, but that's not going to happen. Carol, as far as permission granted for an interview, that is not her lawyer's call. I'm sure the lawyer should be consulted on it and say no, because I believe that's the right answer. But I believe she gets to make that decision. And the court or the jail has system set up instructions for how news media can interview inmates. It's already set up. Is your letter going to be handwritten like hers? Probably not. I don't have as good handwriting. She does everything very well, and I do not. But I think that's it. All right. So that was the letter. We were waiting for this one. We knew it was going to drop. It turns out that she had to send another copy. The judge just hadn't had it scanned in. The court didn't scan it properly. I'm not sure if it just went in the file or not. So I'm not sure what all the corrections are on this one, but a lot of information here. Wow. He accused the judge of throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded to find an attorney for her. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I'd be stepping in a big pile of poop. Stay away from her. She's an evil. Why play with it? I'm not saying I'm playing with it, but I believe that people have a story that deserves to be told. Sometimes it's convoluted and we disagree with it. But I think I know why she says 8. Check the email. I'll check that. So you're saying it's definitely 9. I'll change it back to 9. I trust you, Amber. What's up? What?
Sandra's here and she needs to know where the mom is. I know she's at a water park. Is she at Farmville or is she at the one with us?
I don't know.
Do you know Jordan's phone number? He's with
Yeah, hang on. Sorry, we've got to find Mrs. R.A. real quickly. All right. How many RA fans are pen pals with Sarah Boone? Yeah. Fess up. Fess up. Let's see.
Yeah, you guys. I'm just
The funny part I saw in her letter that was really interesting was that she says, this is my attorney that I'm paying for with my tax dollars because it's court appointed, and everybody in the state of Florida is paying for her attorney. But she wants her tax dollar portion to be mentioned specifically. All right, good times. We've got that lined up. I'll be there for Sarah Boone too. That'll be awesome, Dodie. They'll pay for all expenses, including per diem. If I get subpoenaed, I don't want to be subpoenaed. That's not the goal. Honestly, that does cause more headaches for me on my channel than anything else. I'm sorry, Red Pen. Good luck on your Jimmy Johns. Hopefully it's freaky fast later. Jonathan says, this is crazy. I'll give her credit for knowing her case and trying to protect herself, but 6 lawyers. Does judge even read these? I'm pretty sure he just passes it off to counsels. I believe he does read these because he's addressed the issue of the lawyer not talking to the attorney, the lawyer not talking to the client, and ordered them to do it because of these letters. So I believe he knows what's in these letters. Let's make sure we have a backup plan in place. It might be fleeing the country. Is that a good backup plan? You got it? Where are they? Firmly?
He didn't answer.
Let's see. Hang on. This is not a prank call. I'm trying to reach my son. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not working. All right. Judge mentioned at Sarah Boone's last hearing that he had in fact read her letters. I think he does read. But the judge can't communicate with the defendant on his own. So she's writing to him, and he has to tell both sides what happened. You always have the podcast channel. Do you think she'll get credit for time served if found guilty? Yes, I believe she will, because she's not currently convicted of a crime. Something premeditated. I was a correctional officer for 11 years. I can tell she is difficult to deal with. Nonstop complaints. Will Sarah Boone override BK trial as they're so close together? I don't think they will. Just realize the dates we have for Sarah Boone's trial, those are just hearings. I don't see a trial date set. So the judge basically pushed it off and might push it again. So it could be next year before this goes. If you go, just don't get into your suitcase. Peter, great advice. Great advice. Not intentional. That's the kicker. Oops. Accidentally almost reported your message on accident. All right. I think that's going to do it for today. We've got Sarah Boone's letter read. It was absolutely fantastic. It was everything we thought it would be and a little bit more. It was a little sloppy, hastily written. If you want to compare handwriting, this was written quicker than all the rest. And I think it was because she had to hand deliver it. She had a deadline, and it seems like she almost ran out of... It has the feel as if she ran out of time to write before she ran out of things to write. It didn't have the neat wrapped up with a bow that we sometimes see out of her that's on some of her other letters. Sound like they're going to push Sarah Boone yet again. Yeah, that's why they scheduled those 2 hearings in September. I think it'll push for sure. Christy says, recovery addict, I'm reading a book suggested by someone in the Facebook group, and the judge said a case can show up on our schedule 70 times before it's tried or settled. If you look at Sarah Boone's docket, her case file has so many entries, just a billion, and she has not been there present for a lot of them. What time tomorrow? We're starting at 9 a.m., I believe. It's a Texas case, so that's going to be probably a 10 a.m. start. We'll go live 9 a.m. Yes, during the break, we actually we lit the candles and sang to her, and she opened some presents. So that was good fun. Now she's out playing at the water park. Good luck for those that are going over to Shabusiness. Hope you, I guess, enjoy it. I don't know. I hope you don't hear anything too permanently scarring. There's the link if you want to do the homework for tomorrow's trial. Text us via Darren Lopez. That'll give you a background of where we're at. If we'd like to cover something twice, you should know. Short afternoon. Why aren't you covering show business? Noah Chick, I've learned in the I don't know, it's been, 8 months that I've done YouTube, that there's some content that YouTube doesn't like. And when YouTube doesn't like the content, they penalize me as a content creator financially. It basically, any incentive I would have financially, which I don't do this just for the finances, but if I don't get those finances, I can't continue doing this every day. So it's important to me. And if I were to take a big case like that and have every day potentially, based on what could come up every day, the content be deemed non-monetizable or inappropriate for YouTube advertising, it would be pretty detrimental. So that's why I elected not to do that. It's also, we try to do a pretty family-friendly show here. We talk about murder, but we try to keep it in an area where it's kid safe and kid friendly. We don't show gory pictures and things like that, and some of the descriptions and depictions that are going to be presented in that business trial are a bit much, quite honestly, and it just wouldn't be a good fit for the it wouldn't be a good fit for the channel. All right, they aren't letting some of it be live streamed. I can imagine it's rough. Liliani Martinez, good morning from California. Excited for a new trial with RA and my fellow addicts. Thank you so much. Thanks for the 3 months. Love the Green Courthouse by your name. I appreciate that. Is Show Business on again? I believe it is. I believe it's up. Kid-friendly murder. Yeah, that's... we try to space out. Unfortunately, there are way too many crimes committed against children, and we try to space out those trials that do have child victims in it. Because those are tough emotionally to follow. So this will be a little better. Set for a week. They're on day 1 at lunch currently. Thank you. I am Captivating85. Appreciate the update. Tell everybody over there hello. Show Business is a whole new level. It's a lower level, I'll have to say. Wonderful. It's good to have you over there. You guys, 13th Jurors, are just an amazing bunch. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's let you guys have an early day of it. And I think I'm going to go out and work on the Airbnb a little bit because it's just as hot out there as it is in here. So why not get some work done? Thank you guys. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone. Make their day just a little bit better. And stay safe till we go live again, which will be 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We should have a new case out of Texas. Darren Lopez, charged with murder. Should be a good one. All of you, thank you very much. I appreciate every single one of you. This is the best place on YouTube to watch true crime. Thanks for watching this new letter from Sarah Boone. That's a lot of fun as well. Popped over to Alternate Jurors for that trial. They're great. Thank you very much. Appreciate you supporting them as well. I think that's all. Let's see. What are we covering? We're going to cover Darren Lopez in the state of Texas. Murder trial. Murdered his high school sweetheart's husband in an effort to get back together with her. I think she's already in serving time over this one. Be good, everyone. We don't need to be following your trials. Katrina, this is true. Stay out of court, all y'all. That would be great. All right, we're done here. Thank you very much. Have a great day. It is good to be back. We're getting back into the swing of things. I will be here all week. My family's going to be gone, so it's just me. You have undivided attention. And you never know. We might get a prank phone call or two in there as well if there's a slow moment. So that's correct. Thank you, KR. Great timing. Miss you guys. It's good to be back. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.